Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of our script workshop. We have two scripts tonight, none from stage 32. I wasn't hanging out there much this week, although I popped over and some of the questions just seemed like, maybe it wasn't like us. Some weeks I go there and they're like screenwriters, right? I wrote this screenplay and no one will look at it. And I'll be like, look at it on the YouTube channel. Sure, here. There's some people who are just desperate to want to get some eyes on their thing. But this week it seemed like the discussion was all. Sometimes people just get questions, and I'm like, why is this worth posting here? But the question I saw over there was, I got some notes on my script that said I should make it a 4 or a 5-act structure. What do you guys think? I'm like, who cares? Like, just some random. Like, if they told you to jump off a bridge, would you do that? Like, I just want to ask that.
I mean, are they a producer?
Right, exaczly. Was there?
Are they willing to pay to produce your script?
If they're not paying you, you're like, there's a lot of times.
I mean, to be fair, I think Hollywood. I'm using air quotes here, like. The Hollywood truism of every film is a 3-act structure is like, that's a bit overdone. There's nothing wrong with 4 or 5-act structures. It was good enough for Shakespeare. There's nothing wrong with using it yourself.
Well, okay. But how are you denoting the acts? I mean, in Shakespeare, like the acts are distinct little units. We have an intermission between each act. Yeah. It's pretty obvious. But, 3-act structure in screenplays, it's very rare that the acts are specifically delineated on screen. We just kind of ballpark it and go, well, this looks like the beginning, the middle, and the end. And we think of most stories as having
every story has a beginning, a middle, and end. Like, you've really fucked up if you don't have any of those things.
Right.
There are some 80s action movies that are by the number 3 acts almost to the minute.
Right.
Like, and clock them. Like, they're like especially like the 90-minute Schwarzenegger films, because I used to watch a lot of them. Like Commando is like one of those movies that is like literally to the minute, like 30 minutes, boom, act 1 is done, act 2 starts.
Yes.
I mean, I still think Commando's a 4-act, but like,
okay.
So, I mean, really,
by the way,
what matters if you're just dividing your play into acts for any reason is how many climaxes have you got? And how many times
one really long one that lasts 30 minutes if you're Michael Bay.
Yeah, well, not everything can be Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Right? And
or Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, sure, okay.
That has like a 30 to 45 minute climax.
I believe you. I'm just not going to watch it to find out.
Oh, that's not a bad movie. I mean, if you like mindless action.
I'm sure I have better things to do with my life. Like how many times are you like having another pause after a big moment? That's an act, right? But if you're going to keep on building it up, then you're within the same act. Like that's really it. It's about the dramatic tension.
I use Dan O'Bannon's Guide to Screenplay Structure. I find it an excellent resource. I've started rereading it lately, and every time I'm like, wow, this book has influenced me. I find so much joy in its pages. I recommend it to everybody. But he has, his own method of delineating what the acts are. And for him, it's act 1. And, you've heard me say this before, it's where we define all the characters and the conflict. Act 2, we bring that conflict to a point of no return from which the characters can no longer deny the final showdown. And then act 3 is just, the final showdown and the resolution. But if you accept that structure, which is, I think not that controversial, there are some movies that, he even talks about in his book, they're 1 act, under his thing, because like at the beginning of the thing, the alien monster arrives at the base and no one can escape. That's how the movie opens.
Yeah.
And it's basically a 1-act movie, like the thing, under O'Bannon structure. Now, 3-act people could still say, well, here's the beginning, here's the middle, here's the end. They're all a little artificial.
Right. And like Save the Cat, people have a lot to work with in the thing, weirdly.
Right.
Because like there's all these moments that you do kind of get.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these structures are fine. Really, the key thing is it has to have a beginning, middle, and end, which is Hadopi true. And as we keep saying, even here, you make the beginning not suck, and you can get away with a lot of bullshit after that.
Yeah.
Which brings us to La Vigilante, which
yes,
the Stage Whatever script.
Was it?
I
thought that one came from John's connection from Drive
Through. Did it? Okay.
Or no, Fund My Comic Discord.
It's like I saw that creator's being on the board. He's talking to people, and like, you know, he's definitely floated some what I think are better ideas for structuring
or something like that.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, that I believe.
Yeah, Control Bro or something, I guess.
Yeah. And you know,
our friend across the globe.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's a there in this project. I just wish it would come out more, and I think that's what we've all been saying the whole time.
All right, I just want to say one quick little thing on the topic of copyright / trademark infringement. Just one quick little thing, okay? Because this came up in my Discord, and I feel like sometimes I have to speak from a point of a little bit of expertise, right? So, there was a creator who's got a Kickstarter, and she, you know, is she called it Star Whores. Fair enough. I mean, I can't. Whenever I hear that, I think of that movie with there's something and Miri made a porno back in like 2009.
It sounds like a short comic from Mad Magazine.
Right. But anyway,
so I just dated myself so bad there.
Yeah. But there's a cover on the Kickstarter that it's Lady Death, you know, holding a Sith lightsaber under the title using similar lettering to the trademark, saying Lady Darth. And hey, isn't our parody super cool? Check it out. And look, I know I've been around the industry. People have told me there are like two people in there. There are two comic creators / characters whose work you don't really mess with because they're very aggressive. And one is Brian Pulido with Coffin Comics and Lady Death, and the other one is Hellboy. And you know, like when I saw that, I'm like, oh, there's trouble coming. So sure enough, like she posts on Twitter, like we got our cease and desist, but we're telling Brian Pulido to screw off. And today,
I mean, the project is kind of clearly satire, but if you steal the line art, that's something different.
Yes. Sure. No, I'm with you. Although I did check. I went to the USPTO and I did check, and Lady Death is a trademark. So that now we're dealing potentially with trademark infringement as opposed to just copyright infringement. But
I mean, this feels like someone should have cleared it, but also it's an indie book. Also, it's clearly satire.
Yes,
like that the satire bit of trademark law is like it's pretty broad for a bunch of really good reasons.
It is, yeah.
Some of which are this.
Well, yeah, but all right. So I saw it made Comic Book Resources, an article I saw like today. So I went and I read the Comic Book Resources article, and the Wheelers, who are so far repping themselves in this matter on social media, which I never recommend. You know, they did the whole we're gonna live stream and read our cease and desist letter. I don't recommend that. It's not good, right? Because one, whenever you go, well, did you get the letter? You have to go, well, yeah, you got it right there. And this is me saying I don't care about it. It's not good. But from the article, any lawsuit filed in regards to this will immediately result in a countersuit for frivolous lawsuit, tortious interference, defamation, abusive process, market manipulation, and antitrust violation. And I'm like, I think you're just
and attorney's fees.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, attorney fees are just, you know, that's not a cause of action. That's just part of the damages you're seeking. And like just reading that, I'm just like, oh, it was painful. It bothered the part of me that is litigious. I'm like, no, don't say things like that.
If perhaps the Wheelers are getting their legal advice from A&I attorneys at law.
Yeah. It's like, don't do that. Don't stream your cease and desist. Stop. People.
Yeah, I will say, good on them for getting free press and CBR.
Yes,
because actually, if this is still like a going concern as a Kickstarter campaign, that's like legitimately good promotion.
There you go. And well, yeah, I mean, I'm look, I've done this long enough. It's not lost on me that just on the eve of their Kickstarter, oh look, controversy. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I understand.
And it's a titty book.
Yeah. Well, and of course there's plenty of boobs. And yeah, there's plenty of boobs. All right, and we have La Vigilante.
Oh my God, page 93. How much did we read last week while we were gone?
Let's see. We got 93 to 104. That's what we got.
Did this come with any notes? Like, is this still like draft one?
Let me look at.
I would assume it's draft one.
Yeah, I would assume it's still draft one too. I mean, dude really needs to focus on the first 15 pages before he starts.
All right, here are the notes.
10.
Here's my script. Thanks for the feedback.
All right, let's fucking go.
Okay. Do we want to open at Sitco's Gentleman's Club?
Sure.
I mean, we can open with dialogue. I don't care.
Okay, go for it. All right, who wants to
sure. Hold on. Who's in the next scene?
Katrina, Teresa,
the next scene.
Kim. The next Ken is Monticas, Bargirl, Javi.
Okay, so none of these people
matter. None of these people.
Okay, cool. Yes. All right. Yep, I got the details earlier.
Your talent is still new, so tread lightly.
Ave Maria. Have faith, Kat.
Thanks, Kim. Love you both. I should get ready for tonight.
All right, I'll narrate.
Go for
Interior Seiko's Gentleman's Club night.
All right, wait. I'm gonna stop right here. So, wait. In terms of like screenplays and how it should be, I believe it's an error to have slug line and go straight to dialogue. I think you need some description.
You do. You need to tell the camera what he's pointing at.
Unless you previously established the scene and you're intercutting, in the stairwell. On the if you're intercutting in an action scene, okay. But here, I need some type of line to tell me what the club looks like, what people are doing, all that good jazz, as opposed to just opening on somebody talking.
Since this is page 93, which means we've skipped approximately 80 pages of content.
Yeah.
I guess we can assume that
it was 80 pages of people sitting in a room talking.
No, sitting in a series of rooms talking.
Yes. So, okay, Interior Seiko's Gentleman's Club night. Big tittied lady walks down.
There we go. That adds a lot.
Swings on a pole.
Right there. That adds a lot right there. Okay.
Manticas sits, waves the glass.
One make it double.
Coming right up, sweetie.
Sir, what are we doing here? Aren't we supposed to be on the lookout for leads? Ha ha.
Manticus coughs and wipes his greasy face with a handkerchief.
I don't think we'll get all our answers here. He's already so drunk. I guess it's another one of those nights.
You idiot. Do you know what I had to do to earn my spot as a detective on this force?
Oh no, here comes another rant.
District 3, District 12, Sergeant Benito Tejano. Only man to lead a full-fledged raid on the cartel of South District 31. 32 arrests made, 23 injured, and 10 dead officers.
10 dead officers?
Yee! My brothers, brave men, gave their lives for kids like you.
I didn't know you were part of that raid, sir. I feel like I should go for like a Tiny Tim voice with this guy now.
There we go.
I didn't know you were part of that raid,
sir. Hell, I was just a rook, just like you, green to the gills, asking too many questions, knee deep in arrogance.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean to.
Look, you just sit there and watch.
What am I supposed to be watching? This guy's a sip away from going comatose.
Burp.
What about that lady in the black set?
Lady in black. Hee hee ha ha. Lady in black. Question mark.
I'll do the bar girl. Manticast wipes his face again and coughs. Double on the rocks. Anything for you, hun?
By Vicky. You seen any lady in black here? Hurry.
Yeah. Baby, we got them in black, white, blue, hell, even polka dot. Take your pick.
Ha ha. Wah ha ha ha.
There's no point.
Manticast's cell phone rings and he answers.
Ha hoo. Hold on. Bye, kid. I'ma take this outside.
I'm ready to call it a night.
Get the bill, will ya?
Manticast finishes his drink and walks away. Exterior, highway night. Katrina rides her bike down the highway. She is reflecting on everything that's happened. Which, how do you film reflecting on everything that's happened?
I mean, she can't, because everything that happened is an abstract concept, not actually a surface.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a new me, like a phoenix, with new responsibilities. I just hope I can keep it together with work and all. For now, I need to focus on this mission.
I'm really glad we had this scene. This scene adds a lot.
It was really important, so she could reflect on an abstract concept.
She could reflect on things,
yeah.
Interior, Katrina's apartment night. Katrina gets dressed. Darn. She ties her shoes and zips up her black skin-tight sports jumper. She ties her whip belt around her waist, straps her batons to her back, and ties up her hair.
Gypsy, start bike.
Systems running, battery at 79%, range 250 kilometers, tire pressure normal.
Katrina walks into the bathroom and stares in the bathroom mirror.
Are you in there?
Katrina, her supernatural persona, appears in the mirror staring back at her.
Let's get it.
She walks out and straps her backpack onto her back. She kicks her robot. I didn't know she had a supernatural persona.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, this seems new to me.
None of us did.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going with it. It's page 90 or whatever.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Yeah.
The vacuum cleaner starts sweeping. As she walks into the kitchen and drinks her smoothie, we can see Danny's drawing of her on the fridge. She slams down the cup and climbs out the window onto the fire escape. La escalera.
Okay. Have faith. Why did we need the fire escape in Spanish?
That is an excellent question. I don't know that I have an answer.
Exterior, highway night. Katrina rides her futuristic, sleek, and low-profile electric motorcycle, emitting a cyan blue hue from the electric motor. She has her helmet on and her aerodynamic backpack filled with equipment. She takes exit 55 for Santiago Riverway. She cruises through the warehouse district. A few workers walk around outside. There's very little traffic. She stays close to trucks and tractors to avoid unwanted attention. She arrives close to her destination and parks in an alleyway. The alleyway is not in the highway. That is so totally all wrong.
Including
that's like
tractors?
That's like 5-6 different locations in that one.
Yeah. This is somewhat of a bad habit I miss, like the newbies will do. Like all the action that's happening between the dialogue, they'll just clump it all together in one big block. No, stop. Anyway,
this is it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to make a comment on how to properly format this paragraph, which is following is a good cue where you do like exterior highway night following, and then you say she's on the highway, and then you do she takes the exit, and then you say, okay, exterior warehouse district following, and then you describe the warehouse district, and then you get to the warehouse that she's stopping at, exterior warehouse number 19 following.
Yeah.
And this is always a good use of the continuous tag.
Yes. This is it. Oh, am I Katrina?
The dock should be a couple blocks north. Gypsy, send my location to Coach.
Sending location.
Good. Now time to take flight. Gypsy, power up drone.
Katrina's rear seat storage transforms. The drone spreads its wings and lights up. Its propellers starts to slowly fan.
Drone activated, battery at 100%. Systems online.
Katrina detaches the drone controller from her steering column. She activates the drone and sends it flying into the night as she attentively watches her LED screen.
Gypsy, silent mode. Scan for any security drones. This is a thrilling conclusion.
Yes. Silent mode activated, scanning, speed limited.
The containers I'm looking for should have a red cross and the numbers 88 and 89. Who's she talking to?
She's talking to Gypsy. It's like Jarvis.
Or whatever.
The little
hold
AI
on.
thing. Yeah.
I see one guard.
Guard watching TV at his guard shack. That should be like exterior guard shack.
Yes.
Guard sits in
Yes.
shack watching TV.
Yes.
I'll do the guard, I guess. Vamos, go. Getting past him shouldn't be a problem. There should be another. Oh wait, that's not.
I think that's Katrina.
But you know what? It doesn't say that, so it's going to be the buzzy guard.
Yeah,
there should be another on patrol.
Skies free from security drones.
It's quiet tonight. Power outage must be affecting this area. Coach is a master. Then how's he watching with the power outage, huh?
I don't know. Because it's so smart.
Because he's a mastermind.
He's a
the
mastermind.
drone flies over the shipping dock.
If they just came in, then they could still be on the ship. There we go. Couple more guards.
Weapons detected.
Pistols. No biggie. Gotcha, and here's our mark.
I don't give a damn about no pistols.
Wait, this is all the mod
They can shoot me all they want. I don't give
Is she secretly Long Fu?
I guess.
Katrina snaps pictures with the drones. Snap.
Gypsy, send pics to Coach. Oh, she's used that one before.
She has. Sending pics to Coach.
Red Cross, 88 and 89. Time to get closer. Gypsy Tactical, preset 3.
Securing perimeter.
3 armed guards. I got this. Ready for my close-up. Spiritu Santo, yo confio en ti.
See, I wasn't expecting Sunset Boulevard, but nevertheless, sometimes you get it. Yeah. Ready for my close-up.
Katrina transforms into La Katrina. She spins in the air. Rose petals scatter. Her skin. Oh, now we're getting a transformation scene.
Boom!
You know what? I'm a hundo P behind the Sailor Moon bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Totally. She spins in the air. Rose petals scatter. Her skin turns pale, and her face is painted with black markings. Her jumper becomes a beautiful bodysuit with a corset top and thigh-high boots. Her hair is draped in roses, and her voice changes.
Let's see what I can do.
She climbs onto the roof of the building like a shadow racing upward. She runs across the roof, a couple of roofs, performing parkour, and jumps over the roofs as if floating, closing in on the entrance of the shipping dock.
I could get used to this.
She lands atop a building across the dock.
That's the mark. This should be fun. Let me try something new.
Her superhero persona has just a wide-eyed sense of childish wonder.
Her eyes glow with spirit energy, and she begins to blow fog out of her mouth.
This should help. Oh, is this a remake of that stupid magic fog seed?
Maybe that's what. Maybe this is what he's doing.
Hold on, and this is still your thrilling conclusion?
Yes.
And we're almost about to hit page 99.
Yeah.
She grabs her whip and zip lines down a wire hanging over the road onto the shipping dock. She lands on the roof of the warehouse and looks back at the security guard watching over the gate. He's preoccupied with the TV.
Stupid security guard.
She jumps across to some stacked shipping containers, climbs onto a giant mechanical arm used to move the shipping containers, and she uses it to cross the dock onto the ship. We notice the 2 ship security guards walking around. Then she climbs down onto the ship's deck where the Red Cross containers are located. A red cross and the numbers 88 and 89 are written on them.
Where'd all this fog come from?
He points a flashlight into the fog.
Watch your step, low visibility. Copy that. Headed to the pisher. Cover the bridge while I'm gone. Roger.
In the fog?
I mean, you can go to the bathroom.
Maybe he just wants to pee whenever there's fog.
Yeah, I mean, what else? There's not much to look out for. There's fog,
his
right?
character trait. It's his only character trait.
I mean, turn around and piss off the dock. If there's fog, nobody can see you.
No, it's his only character trait.
Yeah,
I guess
Don't take that away from him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Security Guard.
Number
Katrina
1
has a line.
Oh, bingo! Red Cross 8889.
Katrina pops the seals on container 88's doors and opens them carefully. Wood boxes and barrels, El Bellerie, fill the container. She looks around and smashes one with her baton. She brushes off the broken pieces and takes a look inside. She sees firearms and ammunition. The boxes have a Chinese characters on them.
They're shipping in weapons? We have to get rid of these before they hit the streets. Good thing I brought back up. Gypsy, deliver the goods.
Delivery incoming.
Katrina reaches for the drone, which holds a grenade-like explosive. She grabs it.
Gypsy, tactical preset 1.
Securing perimeter.
She twists the top of the explosive and sets the timer to 3 minutes.
Time to make
some noise. 3 minutes should do.
She places the explosive in one of the crates and closes up the container. Then she walks to the container 89 and opens it up. She hears a murmur and whispers. As she swings the door open, with another explosive in hand, she sees people peering out of the shadows. They look exhausted and zombified.
They're
zombies.
Dead.
Oh no, run, get out. Zombies.
She motions at them to leave the container as she throws the explosive into the water, but they won't listen. She quickly pulls the doors open. They stare in awe.
You are free. Now, go!
Until INS finds you.
Yeah.
Kids and women run out of the container. A mysterious figure, Wildcat, a woman with loose clothing and hair, rushes out and slams her, pushing her aside. Katrina turns and sees the woman lunging back at her with 2 fiery fists. One grazes her and leaves a scorch mark. Katrina counters with 2 strikes of her own. She grabs the woman by the arm and throws her to the side.
I don't want to hurt you.
Ha!
I'm here to rescue you.
What does that mean? I mean, isn't this like a supervillain who just showed up?
Yeah, it is, but Katrina's still talking to herself. None of this matters.
Okay. All
right. 2 security guards come running into the scene, shining their flashlights. Wildcat realizes she's overpowered, gets to her feet, and scrambles away.
Hey, hands up, stay there.
The other guard screams into his walkie. Intruders, light up the ship. They point their flashlights at the running people and pull their weapons out. The timer inside the weapons container is counting down with only 2 minutes left. Katrina confronts security guard as the overhead lights turn on. The guards are perplexed at what they're looking at.
Ready for my close-up.
She disappears in a whirlwind of roses and appears behind them. She draws her whip and whips one in the back, and he drops his gun, writhing in pain.
Ouch. Wait, why is she saying ouch?
I don't know. That is a good question.
Well, it's always like men confusing their pistols for their privates.
I guess. Maybe she...
Oh, hold on. Maybe she's mocking the working man.
She's like, ouch.
As the other security guard turns, she sidekicks him in the chest and sends him flying back a few feet, causing him to drop his gun. The guards look at each other perplexed and run away frightened. The timer is now at 60 seconds. See, that's a good shot where you do the cut to.
Oh yeah, I was wondering
the countdown timer hits 60 seconds.
Yeah, I want to say like you're cheating when you say the timer is now at 60 seconds. How do we know that? Do we have a shot of the digital readout? Then show me a shot of the digital readout.
Is there like a giant countdown in the center of the screen that's just distracting us from all of this action?
Exactly. Which you can do, but you have to tell me what we're doing. So they don't pay me enough.
Katrina climbs back onto the mechanical arm and crosses the waterway onto the dock. As she makes her way atop the warehouse, a small explosion is seen in the background where the weapon containers were. She jumps down and climbs onto her bike in the alleyway. I'm also guessing that's where the security
With
guards
a small explosion. Boo! Boo!
Yes. She turns back to her normal self, so no Sailor Moon scene for that. The drone lands and attaches onto the electric bike.
That was close. Who was that?
She has a flashback of Wildcat.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice if we could see what that flashback is.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
I'll talk to him tomorrow. I need some sleep.
Outside Seiko's Gentlemen's Club night.
I don't know what it is about Seiko's Gentlemen's Club.
What the fuck was all that about we just read? And
I don't know.
Why is this movie still happening?
But one thing I gotta say, whenever we go to Seiko's Gentlemen's Club, get ready for dialogue. Because there's never there's never an action here. There's
this guy doesn't get his fill.
Manticast is gorging on some street tacos next to a small taco stand.
You told me, he was outside. He's outside the Gentlemen's Club. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, it should be exterior Seiko's Gentlemen's Club, but we're going outside instead.
Yes, it's interior outside Seiko's Gentlemen's Club.
There you go. Come here, Rook.
They charged me your entire tab. I'm still on a trainee salary, right?
Why did they do that? Anyway.
Because he's a terrible, terrible boss and he's abusing his underling.
I guess. Was the big deal. I covered breakfast yesterday. We should be even. Here, I got a couple tacos. That's my favorite line. Yeah. Yeah. How you like them? No cilantro, extra cheese.
Yavi makes heart eyes.
Anyway, look.
Wait, is this a cartoon?
I don't know. I don't know if those were like
none of it makes any sense, John.
Hard eyes, or if there was just like the actor doing their best. I don't know.
Or maybe he's just doing fuck me eyes.
Yes, I mean any of those could be possible interpretation. We don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, look, we got a lead on a couple suspects, and we got to take them in for questioning.
Really? Right now?
This when you gotta get them, Rook. What I tell you, keep watching. You might learn some.
Is he really up for this? He's emptied 2 bottles.
I'll grab the car, get the bill. She got the bill. Just earlier in this page, she got the bill.
No, she paid for the booze. Now she has to pay for the tacos. He was so generous to give her a couple.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Pick up the tacos. I mean, all right. Look, I buy from a lot of street trucks. Okay, they have them at cons and stuff. I've never seen a street truck operate where they just give you the food and you can like carry it off and eat it and then come back and pay. Like I've never had that happen.
Maybe they use Square rather than that bucket you're supposed to drop the cash into.
Could be. I don't know. Anyway. And then we have
driving.
Yeah.
Yavi falls on the floor backwards.
Oh my god.
There's no floor. If they're outside, it should be on the ground.
On the ground. We're paying a visit to Las Haciendas Rojas.
Interior, Katrina's
have we read 10 pages yet? I feel like we've read 10 pages yet.
We're coming up on 103.
Didn't we start at like 80 something?
No, we started at 90.
93.
Okay.
It's 93 to 104. Although, wait, hold up. 93.
No, wait, 93.
93 to 102.
Yeah, 102.
Is 102. Okay, you know what? Look at that.
Yeah.
That was 10 pages right there. Your 10-page alarm went off. Okay.
I mean,
there you go.
Don't take this wrongly. I just don't feel like this is going to radically get good the next 2 pages.
Well, and the other thing is because he doesn't have proper formatting, we read more than 10 pages.
Right.
Because those paragraphs should have been multiple scenes.
Yes.
Every time we cut away to those clock, it should have been a different scene.
Yeah.
So all of that would have pushed this into much.
All of those are a shot. They're at least 1/8.
Yeah. All right. So we have La Vigilante. She had a transformation. We introduced what might be a villain. I'm not sure. La Vigilante seemed like she wanted to save her immediately. And that's something similar. I noted like La Vigilante wants to save everyone. She just wishes she had enough time, compassion, and resources to save the whole darn world, including Wildcat. and random refugees that she found when she was trying to blow up a shipping container. I don't know why she was trying to blow up the shipping container. I may have missed it.
No compassion whatsoever for
guns bad.
guards she regularly
assaults.
assaults.
Oh, okay, guns. So we had to blow up some guns.
We don't know it was guns. She just said it was guns. Can she read Chinese?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, we saw the guns with a Chinese emblem on them.
Oh, okay.
So they're Chinese guns.
Fine, you got Chinese guns.
But guns bad. Especially Chinese guns bad.
Because, so yes,
we're racist like that.
So that's what I think that happened. That was all cool in the gang. All right, John, what do you think?
I thought this was a great 10 pages. Great first 10 pages.
Right.
I think this is exactly. I think page 1 was great for a page 1, and everything that happened before this needs to go.
You can just cut.
You
can just cut it.
Cut.
All right.
Cut all of the drama.
Yeah.
Sitting in rooms, talking in bars. Actually, no, didn't we start in a strip club? Yes.
We started at a strip club.
My favorite place to start.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to start.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So yes, I think everything before page 93 needs to go bye-byes. We start in a strip club, and then we cut to La Villagente doing awesome, kick-ass, badass stuff. We introduce our supervillain.
Yeah, it makes sense to introduce your supervillain on page 5.
I got a better idea. Why would you start at the explosion?
100. Yeah.
Well, I think it's fine because then I think we at least know who our main character is supposed to be. But anyway, that is an option. But I definitely think that this would have made a better first 10 pages.
Yes.
I like the Sailor Moon energy.
See, we would have missed that if we started on the explosion.
Yeah.
Sure, but you're allowed to have a mystery on page 1.
Yes, the big titty boob chick in the strip club dancing on the pole.
It's not a mystery. Anyways, so the Sailor Moon energy was nice, and there was an explosion, which is good, and there was almost some drama on screen, so I very much appreciated that.
All right, constructives. All right, part of it is I'm a little thrown off by starting on page 93 and why are we meeting Wildcat on page 97? That seems strange. I feel like we should have met her before in this, assuming we're shooting for 120 or 145 to be a movie length. So it's kind of act 3 and we're meeting somebody, and that's unusual. I don't know. Even in movies like Underworld, which I enjoy, and we meet a very major character halfway through when Victor is arisen, but we know Victor's there. They explain, yeah, he's sitting over there in that vault. So we know he's there.
He's also Bill Nighy.
Yeah, man, he's Bill Nighy. Yeah. Here, it seems a little late to introduce Wildcat. La Vigilante spends a lot of time in her head. She's talking kind of more or less to herself in various scenes. Quite frankly, in scenes where even we have other characters like Wildcat who could be the arch villain for all I know. I don't know. La Vigilante is still kind of talking to herself. She's still kind of, I'm going to protect you, you poor thing. There's not a lot that she's interacting with, I feel, which is not what I want to see out of my action superhero. I want to see them interacting with the world. I want to see them, doing dialogue sparring with someone else, stuff like that. In the scenes that weren't La Vigilante, we had cops, I think.
Rent-a-cops.
Yeah, rent-a-cops doing nothing exciting that I can't remember.
There was also some needless VO in that.
Yeah. And
then the guy got drunk.
Yeah, and when there was some place in a strip club with a guy who bought street tacos and he kept leaving the tab for his assistant. I'm not sure why that's important. Anyway. All right, Danny, what do you think?
Okay, so I mean, the narration, all of it's got to go. It doesn't help. And I'm going to just go out on a limb here and be like, look, if this is page 97 to whatever, you made a horrible mistake. This is not a thrilling conclusion to anything.
Right.
But I suspect there is a there because whatever's going on with the Sailor Moon thing is kind of compelling. Whatever was going on with the Black Widow thing before was fairly compelling. Whatever was going on with the kidnapping before that was fairly compelling. So I think you should rewrite this entire script to no more than 35 pages.
There you go.
Don't even write. Just cut shit until it's 35 pages.
Yes, it'll make it better.
And then if you're like, okay, well, I'll be generous. I'll give you 43. If you can do it in 43, cool. If you could do it like 22, even better. But like, this is like maybe a pilot episode of a TV show. If this is seriously page 97 and you're cutting between woman talking to herself in a high-pitched voice for no reason or some different voice while piloting a drone, and some kid watching their boss get drunk at a strip club, you've gone so far astray that like, yeah, like this should not be this long. Like, we were just talking about Dan O'Bannon and stuff. Like, those are 90-minute-ish movies.
Yep.
Right? Like, maybe like an hour and three-quarters. And they're real tight. They're real effective. They feel longer than they are because they're good. Right? And what we have here is something that's like, why is this movie still happening? We're nearly at the 2-hour mark. Like, yeah, don't do that. So, yeah. Like 42 pages, make this like a 1-hour pilot, and then, tack on a half an hour to it later, and you're probably good. But this should be like a reasonably compelling story in an hour. Because I haven't seen anything to suggest that it's not just padding. Just VO describing the action and that kind of thing. Like, none of it helps.
You got anything, John?
I would say, before you have us read more pages 102 to 112, make the first 10, 15 pages really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, before you even start on Act 2, make Act 1, in Act 1 we actually want to read. Make it a movie we actually want to watch. Because, like I say all the time in this stream, if you bore your audience in the first 10 pages, they're not going to be there for the second 10 set of pages. So, and I feel like you haven't earned pages 100 to 110 yet.
I'm going to say I want my money back.
Because I don't feel like the first 10, 15, 20 pages is enough to warrant. Obviously you present them, we'll read them. That's kind of that's
our contract.
Yeah, it's kind of our contract. But if you really, really want to be successful with this story, you need to make the first 10, 20, 30 pages compelling. And otherwise the rest of it is just, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I think you really, really need to rethink this entire story from the ground up, from page 1. And I would encourage you next week to present a brand new pages 1 through 10 and make them really, really compelling. Take the feedback, because here's another thing to keep in mind. Just because you think, well, okay, this scene here on page 95 to 105 really, really works. Now let me go back and fix. Well, if you fix pages 1 through 30, this set might not even exist anymore. I can't tell you how many rewrites I have done where I rewrote Act 1, and scenes that I thought were really, really, really great in Act 2 or Act 3 just don't even exist. They don't need to exist, and they just get cut. And it's sad, but, so spending time trying to polish a scene in Act 3 when your Act 1 still needs work, I feel like is a waste of your time. Because
if you really want to start a story a lot of times people say start at the ending. If you got a great ending, okay, then let's find the beginning and then let's fill in the middle. So starting at the end is okay, but this is not the end. This is not a big climatic moment. This is La Vigilante doing what she does, walking around, talking to herself, trying to solve the world's problems. And
and assaulting security guards. Yay.
Yeah. And potentially blowing them up and killing them when she blows up a crate full of
no, but
guns.
she really cares about all the people in her community except for security guards.
Yeah, screw those guys.
Yeah.
But it was a small explosion, so maybe it was
I know, so it wasn't even really worth filming, was it?
Maybe it just exploded everything inside the container and never exploded outside the container. It just went.
I mean, that's not visually exciting, is it?
Yeah. And I would like La Vigilante to be defined a little more, you know? Like, I understood what the 50s Superman was, you know? Truth, justice, American way. Whenever I saw Superman, I understood that he was there to, you know, fight for the United States, as well as make sure that people were not being harmed. You know, trying to take dogs out of trees. You know, I knew that was Superman. I don't know what La Vigilante really wants, outside of just kind of generally a better world. Anyway, all right. Let's take a look at Heartbeast. By the way, John, did you ever get to watch that scene from Henry Portrait of the Serial Killer?
No.
No. Why do I even post these things? All right.
Did you post? What did you?
In scripts, I posted a scene. Henry Portrait. This is like a 3-minute scene, that I encourage you to watch. You can go back and check.
Oh, I okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Who do you want there?
Silhouette. Sorry, John. How many weird edits have you done to ruin this in between the last thing we read and now?
Okay, so all right. So if you remember my story about airship bombing London,
Yes.
It was a really, really long, like 30-ish page screenplay.
Yes.
When I converted it to comic format, it was like 40 pages. So the majority of it is issue 1, and then the rest of it is issue 2. And it's the first half of issue 2. So this is going to be potentially the second half of issue 2.
And what's the first half of issue 2 again? Is that where they meet the robot underneath the pyramid?
No, that's going to be issue 3. So issue 1 is airship bombs London, and Long Fu shows up, fights the big bad, gets thrown off the airship. Issue 2 is going to start with Erin blowing up her jet to knock the ship off course and basically force them to flee.
Okay.
And then
we end up in Egypt and there's a robot cat.
In issue 3.
I feel like the longer you don't have Robodeco, the worse your book is. But let's find out.
You know...
Let's find out. Page 10, panel 1. Silhouettes of a dozen women dance sensually against the backdrop of a raging bonfire.
Nice open.
I mean, we've read this scene before.
Sure.
We have. This one, yes, we have. I just added more to the end of it.
Okay. Some dance individually, others with bodies entwined against each other. Musical notes float with the smoke of the fires as the witches chant. Caption, somewhere in Africa. Have fun, John.
Chanting.
Madato.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. That's it. We've got a policy on this. Is John gets to read his bullshit.
All right.
Because it's very repetitive, all of it.
It's not meant to be. It's.
So why doesn't the magic just happen?
Yeah. Are we skipping the witches chant? Or
I'm skipping the witches chant. John,
all right, we're skipping the witches chant.
Preston,
right.
You should skip the witches chant
Okay.
if you want to do it. I mean, you're getting into it.
Page 11.
All right. Page 11, panel 1. The oldest of the witches, a woman in her 60s called the matriarch, stands with her arms raised. Her graying hair caress ample bosoms adorned with jewelry made from beads and rodent bones, and a single stone pendant affixed with a glowing green stone.
Spirit of our ancestors, we welcome your presence.
Panel 2. 3 witches seated with legs crossed beat on drums resting in their laps.
Eternal magics of old flow through your servants.
Panel 3. A red magical energy radiates from the bonfire, swirling around the dancing witches.
We like this more than the Swahili, I think. Your daughter's souls lay before you, beckoning you to enter.
Yeah, that's as we can understand it.
Yeah.
And it's not uninteresting.
No.
Panel 4. The red magical energy swirls around 2 of the witches, Jezidrow and Zola, as they dance close together.
Grant your daughters your strength and power that we may annihilate those who have wronged us and those who still seek to wrong us.
Page 12. Panel 1. Exterior, desert oasis, night. The magical energy lifts Jezidrow off the ground, her body arched backward, hair burning as white fire. Zola kneels on the ground below her, raising her hands. The other witches circle around.
Dearest matriarch, the magics have chosen.
Montara Konadata Ropa Koratova Madora Koradata Ropa Koratoga.
Panel 2. Vision continued. Exterior, pyramids of Giza, night. A green haze surrounds the Great Pyramid like a fog. Panel 3, ethereal location. That's specific.
It is.
A green Hecate stone hovers in the air, casting shades of light onto Muller as he reaches out, touching it. Panel 4, ethereal location. The green light spreads through Muller's body, causing his muscles to bulge.
Oh, yeah.
Page 13. Exterior, Paris, night. Panel 1. Vision. A hulkishly deformed Joseph Muller stands among a swirling vortex of green energy, his veins pumping green blood, glowing visibly under his skin. His eyes glow green as the power swells within him. Roar. There's a roar somewhere.
There you go.
Like a pissed off lion in the corner.
Yeah.
Panel 2, vision continued. Muller finds himself facing a large eastern dragon with glowing golden scales. Panel 3, vision continued. In a flash, the dragon changes to a feminine human form with glowing gold skin and hair of purple flame. Panel 4, the two charge at each other with a massive explosion of green and golden magical energies. Kaboom. Page 14.
There we go.
The Earth explodes in brilliant blast of green energy, sending massive chunks of debris into space.
The end. There we
go. I was thinking that scene was a complete waste of time, and you nearly justified it with that page.
There you go.
I'm still skeptical.
Okay, we'll talk about it later after.
Well, that page got you a lot of credit.
Yeah. I mean, you certainly increase the stakes, right? Like, the world's gonna blow
up. Panel 1, exterior desert oasis night. Jezidrow finds herself laying in Zola's arm. Zola only has one arm?
Yeah.
Okay. Zola, teary-eyed but relieved.
Are you okay, my love?
Panel 2, interior, the matriarch's tent. Night. Jezidrow and Zola kneel with their heads bowed before the matriarch, who stands over them like an overbearing mother.
Heresy, heresy, I say.
I know not what it means, or why the gods would choose the form of a dragon.
What does Shona mean?
It's the language that they speak.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's a font I have to use.
Okay, got it.
Well, we're gonna have to come up with one for German too, because half the characters speak German a lot too. So we're gonna
use italics and pointy brackets like normal people.
But it's fancy.
A human being has to read this shit. I can find you a Fractura font. That one's easy to find.
What's a Fractura font?
It's the traditional typography of German up until World War II for reasons. It's like black letter, but like a print font.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm not married to anything.
I'll make sure it has a long S.
Okay.
You're not going to be happy about that.
I don't know what that means.
I'm going to be happy about that because I'm the letterer and I'm American.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
All right. So we have the matriarch.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I got it. It's false gods have infected your weak-willed mind.
That's a better line. You should.
That's a better line, but that's not what he wrote.
I know. Luckily, I'm his very inexpensive copy editor.
Okay. All right.
Panel 3, exterior desert oasis, the matriarch's tent night. Wait, were they there already? Were they? Whatever. Oh, sorry, exterior. Yeah, exterior. Several of the witches huddle outside the matriarch's tent, eavesdropping. Some are shocked, and others silently giggle at the matriarch's harsh words.
You have taken in too much of that colonizer's seed. We kept that line, I see.
Okay. I kind of like it.
All right.
It's
Has
harsh.
she had a baby that we're not aware of? And started?
Exactly.
That's the only reason the line would make sense.
There we go.
Panel 4, interior of the matriarch's tent. Zola defends Jezidral.
Dearest matriarch, please.
Page 16, interior of the matriarch's tent night. Panel 1, the matriarch doubles down.
Did you forget with whom she shared her bed with before she joined us?
That's a lot of widths.
That is.
But she did join us. She is our sister now, and I happily join myself with her. My heart is hers, and hers is mine.
Let your youthful passions cloud your judgment.
Panel 2. Zola pleads Jezidrao's case.
Dearest matriarch, I beg you, please let us venture north to see if these apparitions be true.
Panel 3. The matriarch relents, sitting on her camp bed, places her hand on Zola's head.
Sir, you are the strongest of my acolytes, but that even you cannot see through deception. That was what was written.
That is exactly what he wrote. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my bad.
Yeah. Panel 4. Zola takes Jezidrao's hand into hers.
Then let me go alone.
Rise, my daughters.
Oh, the scene's still happening?
Yeah.
Oh, the scene keeps going.
We can talk about it afterward if it doesn't work.
There you go.
Panel 1, Jezidrao and Zola stand facing the matriarch, holding hands as she remains seated on the camp bed.
Jezidro, you are not the witch you were 4 years ago when we opened our hearts to you. Look now deep within yourself. Do you believe this to be a true vision?
I do not know.
And yet you wish to venture hundreds of miles to discover. And if during your absence the god delivers a true vision to us and we break camp.
If it be the will of the gods, I am sure to find you again.
Panel 2. Zola looks at Jezidrao, pleading.
Please, I beg you not let her go alone.
Why shouldn't she? If her wisdom be true, then surely the gods will protect her. And if they be untrue...
It is...
Panel 3. Jezidrao looks at Zola, giving her a reassuring look.
It is my vision, my mission to determine the truth of it, regardless the outcome.
Page 18. Interior of the matriarch's tent still.
Yes.
Nice. Panel 1. Still seated. The matriarch fingers her glowing Hecate stone pendant in her fingers. Staring into the
fingering them in her fingers.
Focus lost, like Bilbo holding the one ring. Okay. Behind her, Jezidrao and Zola stand face to face, holding both of each other's hands as they continue.
I'm not Zola.
And what of the White Devil and his Hecate stone? Only those, like our dearest matriarch, blessed by the gods, can withhold its power. It may infect you like it did him.
That's not what withhold means.
Infect.
Then I shall keep it in pocket for safekeeping until my return. Imagine if we all carried a piece of the Hecate stone in our divine mission.
You missed a line, matriarch.
It says peace.
Yes. Okay. Panel 2. Reverse of panel 1.
Jezidrao
and Zola stand closer together, now still holding hands, giddy like young lovers planning their futures together. In the background, the matriarch continues fingering her glowing Hecate stone.
She's big on fingering a Hecate stone.
With our own Hecate stone, we would be unstoppable.
Unstoppable? I feel like that's Sigourney Weaver. All I do is repeat what you say. All right, fine.
You, dearest sister, would be the most powerful witch to ever walk the earth.
Powerful?
Yeah, dude. You have to edit this. Can you imagine any of your illustrators drawing this panel in a way where any of these balloons will work? Because I'll tell you right now, I can't.
Yeah.
I bet you could single-handedly balance the world's magic and set things right.
Page 19.
I want the response to a one-word question.
Sorry?
I want the response to be a one-word question. Like, set.
Yeah. The matriarch looms large over Jezidrao and Zola, full of power and might. Magical auras surround her as she holds out the glowing Hecate stone pendant, as if daring them to take it. Jezidrao and Zola bow prostrate on the ground, seeking mercy.
And would you take this Hecate stone from me, my divine birthright as matriarch of this coven? For many millennia, kings and rulers traveled the globe offering of riches to receive counsel from the coven of Endor, the forest moon, you see, the Ewoks. All right. If you think yourself worthy, take this stone and lead your sisters.
Forgive us, dearest matriarch. We would never think to take that which the gods has entrusted to you.
Leave my presence. There shall be no more words of this false vision. And this brings our scene at long last to a close.
Yay, the scene has finally left our presence.
The scene has finally left the presence. Yes, exactly. Let's see. And
your spelling has improved dramatically since the last time.
Hello. Yeah. All right, let's see. So we got
that scene where the earth blew up was kind of awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we increased the stakes nicely. We have Jezidrao, who has a vision of the earth's destruction, so we know presumably that that's in play, right? She has to somehow figure out how to prevent the world from blowing up. So that gives her actions meaning and purpose, and we certainly want to see where that goes. We then spend a lot of time with her and the matriarch doing the booby bonfire dance, and it is a little long. I mean, the problem is
bonfire dance or the conversation in the tent.
Well, I mean, I consider it all like the same scene. But sure, the conversation in the tent. They have a big conversation in the tent, and I'm not exactly sure the conflict between those two. I know like Jezidrao is like young, and full of colonizer seed, and the
I think she
matriarch
wants to control the world.
Yeah.
Which one wants to take over the world?
The matriarch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the matriarch, she wants something. She doesn't like what Jezidro's doing. I'm not exactly sure what we'll get to that when constructed.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I'll explain what I'm trying to do, and then you guys can tell me.
No. I think we read what you did, which is much more interesting.
Right. I'm not saying what I did was what I was trying to do. I'm just saying that after you guys are done, I will explain what I'm trying to do, and then you guys can.
So if it helps any, my constructive will be pitching you a solution. But right now it's Preston's turn to talk.
Yeah, that was all I had for the positive notes.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Do you want to start with constructives?
Sure. All right. So I'd like to. The matriarch, I need to understand what it is she really wants, and perhaps some of her history and some of her methods. Because you tell me she's like the villain for this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the villain's a very important character. They have to basically carry your whole story. Like they have to be the very convincing opposition that provides your hero stakes. And I'm not sure what the matriarch exactly wants.
Preston, you're just saying that because the villain was the guy who was bombing London in the last issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so the matriarch is the villain of her subplot.
Yeah. So, I mean, she wants something. And we spend a lot of time with her in this tent where she's arguing with Jezidro, and I'm not exactly sure what she wants. So when I leave that scene, I'm not exactly sure what got resolved. So when I see like the matriarch and Jezidro in the future, I'm not going to know necessarily has Jezidro triumphed or has the matriarch beaten her, because I'm not exactly sure what one wants that the other doesn't. It's muddy, and I would like it clean.
So there were parts of the scene that were really interesting. I think you've got like 3 good pages wrapped up in an 11-page package. But with that said, I think I have an idea of what you're going for with this, which is trying to give Jezidro some kind of backstory and her own motivation to show up in the action later. And so I'm going to pitch you something, if that's all right.
Sure.
Cool. Okay. So Jezidro shows up with an army of zombies because she's a fucking villain, right?
Right.
So why don't you not have this scene? Do the bit with the pyramids where you have an awesome robot cat and the same villain that you've had before, so you've got some continuity there. And then construct the story in such a way that our heroes have to return for some reason to Jezidro's village, and it's been, I don't know, decimated by war or something. And then Jezidro gets to have this awesome flashback about when she left after we've met her for a while, and we know the stakes, and we presumably care about her at all. And then possibly she has to take on, the coven-leading, world-destroying responsibilities of the matriarch, who hands over the Hecate Stone with her dying breath.
Okay.
Because right now you've got essentially tits and nothing that interrupt the story, which is a perfectly good story about Nazis trying to take over the world, which they literally did.
Sure.
And some magic people who did not literally exist trying to stop them, who are very close to becoming broadly sympathetic protagonists. Like, you'd be doing really good work there. So don't stop that story. Just have them figure out their relationship with Jezidro, then come to this location, and then give Jezidro's backstory while we're here, and there's a reason for us to care about any of the stuff that happens. Because half of what you're giving us in the vision is stuff that we're going to see soon enough anyways. We don't need to be like, ooh, wait till next week when we blow up the pyramids. We're coming back next week, we're going to see the pyramids blow up, and we haven't seen the pyramids first. So you're just promising stuff that may or may not even happen. You do it after we've seen it, we'd be like, okay, part of the vision's true. Well, now you cut to a scene, let's say, where Muller's in Paris, hulking out, and now, because some of the stuff has happened, you've established that the prophecy is more likely to be true. Therefore, the Earth is more likely to explode. It raises the stakes even higher. It makes it personal because we have all these people who are dying or something. And just sort of tie it in this package where there's a character who has to have feelings. I think that would be more effective, and you can do it later. So that's my pitch.
Okay. So here's what I was trying to do, and then you guys can tell me where I went wrong. So the matriarch's objective is basically she wants to genocide England for their old colonizer ways and basically free the continent. Preston, you're muted. I don't know if you were talking to us or not.
Like Killmonger in Black Panther.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much.
Yeah.
Very much like a Killmonger.
You want, freeing the continent from England.
From
the island nation that famously in World War II was stuck on their island and couldn't do much of anything for pretty much the entire time.
Well, what her objective is to basically get them off of the continent of Africa.
Oh, Africa. Okay, that makes more sense. Cool.
Yes. So she wants to basically get them off the continent of Africa, and that's what they're building their big zombie army for. So,
and could there be a part of the conversation where anyone said that?
Okay. I mean, but see that everybody knows that, and I don't want to do an "as you know" line. As you know.
Well, listen, we need to get the English off of our continent. But I don't like it when you raise a zombie army, and not all the English are bad, Mom. Oh, you've had too much colonizer seed in you. Bing, bang, boom. Now they have a disagreement.
Yeah.
Now it's a conversation.
And we know what the matriarch wants to genocide all the white people in Africa or something. And,
yeah, basically.
Yeah. And because someone said that, the reader knows what the hell is going on.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, all right. I
can... And I mean, look, if you really want to personalize it, I mean, you can show us some of these white people who might die, you know, maybe like an adorable little white girl with red hair and freckles that the matriarch wants to kill, but Jezreel's like, no, they're not. And then, you know, now we don't want the girl to die, right? What did she do? She's just a little girl. We don't want her to die. So we're kind of against the matriarch and with Jezreel, right? Now we're invested in what happens. And if the matriarch just kills a little girl, now we think that horrible bitch, she needs to die. And now she's a villain, right?
Okay. So I need to say, okay. All right. See, now that, okay. Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
Also, I still don't think it belongs here and still needs to be after we've met Jezreel.
So I could just, let's see. What would they be? I don't know.
Make it seem like 6 pages shorter. Remove all the repetitive dialogue, and then just have someone steal the Hecate stone at the end of it.
So, what if I did? So I'm sorry, I'm kind of stuck on Preston's idea.
That's fine.
Like, what if I did like maybe it's like a English or European outpost in Africa, and they
when you're dealing with concepts like genocide, right? It's like Stalin said, you know, 1 death is a tragedy, 1 million deaths is a statistic. So when you're dealing with like, we're gonna kill all the English in Europe, that's such a massive number. It just becomes like this plan, this mustache twirling plan. Like we're gonna
why stop at the English?
Yeah, you know,
like everyone was in Africa.
That is their broad goal would be to go all the way, and eventually, and then basically the whole storyline that I'm working toward right now is, and part of this scene was to build the emotional relationship between Zola and Jezreel, because eventually Zola is going to go against the Coven, and that's going to result in the matriarch dying. If the story goes as I'm currently developing it, then the matriarch dies, and then basically Zola takes over and goes against Jezidro for allowing her to die. That's kind of the story arc that I'm working toward.
Right.
And what this scene was supposed to do,
I think you still have a major problem with this story arc. Is that you are, for some questionable reason, mostly because you didn't think of it this way, you're trying to contrast a story about literal fucking Nazis with some other story about genocide.
I'm trying to give motivation to all of my characters. Like,
half of them are genocidal.
So all of them are genocidal. The Nazis were just genocidal.
Well, obviously the Nazis are genocidal and the matriarch's genocidal. Jezidro may or may not be genocidal.
They did it themselves without needing a zombie army. They were better at it. So these people are not real villains, and they're not related to your other villains, and they still want the same thing as your villains. So why are they different from your villains? Pick different villains. It's. I mean, is this more interesting than Nazis? And the answer, unfortunately, is no.
Because the Nazis have big steam mechs,
and are also they actually did a genocide, so you don't have to do so much work to make them scary.
I mean, in White Lily, I don't spend a lot of screen time on the Nazis. I just show them to you, and everybody knows. Oh yeah, those are the bad guys. Like
Yeah, they're easy.
Back when everyone knew the Nazis were the bad guys.
Yeah, so
those were the days.
Yeah, but here, I don't know. I mean, the Germans. Well, again, it's these abstract concepts like genocide. Like I want to kill this very large abstract group of people. Often, for most people, doesn't have a lot of emotional resonance nearly as much.
I totally think you're 100% right. Like your note was really good.
Yeah.
And then I realized, actually, what's the point of having another genocide when you've already got genocidal baddies? Like, why don't we have some evil genocidal aliens show up, and then everyone can just show up trying to kill everybody?
Right.
And actually, the story's not about anything anymore, and you wasted your opportunity to say something.
And wait, you know what? This would be a cool backdrop for La Vigilante to enter, because now it would be everyone who's genocidal and La Vigilante who wants to save the world, and that's a conflict.
Great. And then she'll talk to herself so much, everyone's gonna want to kill her. It'll add a lot of dramatic tension.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I have Longful for. Her plot armor is about as thick as La Vigilante's.
Even if you were to do like a basic bitch American turnaround and be like, let us enslave all the white people, at least that's not a genocide.
Right.
Oh, I can
but you've got zombies. No, you can't do that because you have literal zombies that are under control of these people. So actually, it's still counterproductive. Yeah, you've obsoleted that option.
Okay, so what if going back to Preston's idea, what if I introduced some nice, benign white people living in Africa, and then the Coven comes in and basically wipes them all out, and in the process, Jezidro meets a little redheaded girl and decides to save the cat.
I mean, kind of like we open The Force Awakens, right? Like the New Order is like killing all the people in this camp, and we find one of the stormtroopers, who we later know to be Finn, is having a crisis of conscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I could then end the issue with her having her vision and then going on her vision quest.
Right. There you go.
Or I seriously think
because I feel like I could accomplish what I feel I need to make this scene work and set up the next scene.
No, the next scene is just like they take a shower, wake up sometime later. Oh, hey guys, the Nazis are in Egypt. Go there. You don't need a lot.
There you go.
I don't know why my voice is failing me.
No.
least that was our last script.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
All right. Well, we gave some great notes.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna. I think if I do it that way, it'll turn this more into an action scene rather than people standing around and talking. And then maybe I can set up some of the character relationship dynamics in the middle of the action.
Right.
I think might also work better than.
Yeah, a lot of both your script and La Vigilante, there's a lot of people talking about abstract stuff, and you got to make it more concrete in a way that gets people visually or emotionally engaged. Like I said, if the matriarch kills the little white child, well, she's a villain, and now we want her to die. And that's what you want of your villain, right? We want people to be angry at the villain and wanting the villain to fail. We want to see the villain fail. Because they did bad things, not because they took views which were controversial.
Right. Yep. No, I got it. I think I might play around with that idea and see how it unfolds.
Awesome. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing what comes in next week.
All right.
All right. Cool. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.